This is the 2025 Hyundai Tucson SEL. Is it worth $34,665? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today we borrowed this Tucson from our friends at Mike Morgan Hyundai in Shreveport, Louisiana. If you want to know more about this one or anything else, they have an inventory. Check out the link down in the description of the video. And there is a refresh, a little bit on the exterior, a little bit on the interior with the Tucson for the 2025 model year. Let's talk about what you'll find on the exterior. The elements up here are going to be wider, and we have a reduction of daytime running lights from 10 down to 8. I like how everything flows into the grille as far as the overall design of the daytime running lights. LED daytime running lights. We're going to have LED projector beam headlights. And another change we're going to have is right here. The anodized aluminum badging, that's changed as well. And you can go front wheel drive, or if you need all-wheel drive, it is available. We're looking at 235 on the width with our tires, a 60 series sidewall wrapped around the 18-inch wheels. And we'll work our way up to these side view mirrors. They're going to be manually folding. I'll show you how that works in case somebody asks. I have actually had somebody say, you told us those were manually folding side view mirrors, but you didn't show us how they worked. Keep in mind, those people are driving on the road with you. You also had the turn signal indicators built in, so that's going to be a good thing. A lot of you like to have that. I'm trying to use my shadow to help shield the sun so you can see those working. They're also going to be power adjustable, and you'll have your blind spot monitoring built in. And here is your remote. We'll try and do this the right way so we don't blind you with the sun behind us. So you can see everything that's there. Pretty easy to deal with. You even have your remote start. I know a lot of you like that. Can't say that I blame you for that. And we're going to have some silver surround on the windows right here. That works. The roof rails are there. Something that some people often complain about in the comments section, I find it very interesting, almost entertaining, is they don't like the pinstripes on here. What do you think about that? Everybody has their opinions, and that's perfectly fine. So I'm not saying that it's a good or a bad thing, but it's always interesting to see what people have to say in the comments section, and you kind of wonder about that. But here we go with the rear roof spoiler. Now there is another change that's concealed away in the rear roof spoiler, and that is the fact that the rear window wiper has grown in size or length by 3 inches. We finished things off here with the LED taillights. I do like the design that we have here from Hyundai because it's unique. It doesn't look like other brands that are on the road. So I like that Hyundai does that. You will find that the turn signal indicators are down here on the bumper, a little bit lower down. Another thing that's interesting, personally, I think it's better to have those up here because people are going to be looking up in this area when they're coming up behind people. At least that's what I know I do. Sometimes I think, uh-oh, that person doesn't have the turn signal option. And then I look down and say, oh, it's way down there on the bumper. Under the hood is the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. Take a look at what we have here. It makes 187 horsepower and 178 pounds-feet of torque. And to the surprise and joy of some, it does not have a CVT. It's an 8-speed automatic transmission. And we'll work our way around here to the window sticker. Pardon any glare that comes from the sun. We're trying to avoid that as best as we can, but here's what we have on the window sticker. 25 miles per gallon city, 33 highway, 28 combined, and 3.6 gallons of gas for every 100 miles driven. No capless fuel fill in this case. If you wanted to snip that off right there and put on a locking gas cap, you could. It's a 14.3 gallon gas tank. And by the way, I know somebody's going to say it in the comments if I don't. This is a locking gas door. So if I lock the interior, it also locks the gas door, but you could put that locking gas cap on if you want that too. If you want to tow with your Tucson, it can tow up to 2,000 pounds. You do have a power tailgate, and we're looking at 38.7 up to 80.3 cubic feet worth of cargo capacity. You can see the cargo cover right there, and I haven't lowered the rear seats yet because I wanted to show you that you have a release on each side. So all I have to do is pull on that. That side goes down. Let me try not to get in the shot too badly. We'll lower that one down. There is how things look maximized. Now your cargo cover right here is removable, very easy to deal with, and all you have to do is pull that back, put that in place like that. That is really easy to do, and then we just do that. And the big bonus here, for those of you who are anti-vehicles that don't have a spare tire, there it is. And you can get this floor up and out of the way. Makes it very easy to gain access to the spare tire and the tools to change it. And then, if you need to change the height of this door, we hold that button down, listen for the beeps. Now, you'll have to be patient with me on this, especially when I don't hit the button the first time. But in the event that the door is too high or too low, you can just move it into whatever position you want to. And when you hold that button down and reset the height, the next time you open it, it's going to open to that preset height. Pretty simple little fix. And here we are in the interior. I like the color layout here. I like that it's not all black. I know some of you do like that. I personally am not a big fan of all black interiors, especially during the summertime when you're wearing shorts and you get in and the sun's been beating down on your black seats and, well, it burns your legs. It can be rather warm depending on what type of material your interior is made of. As far as the door panel goes, there is a very large armrest there. I like its size. It's just right. Even though it has a little bit of an angle down at the front, instead of angling up, it angles down. That doesn't seem to be an issue. I don't like it when there's a rise up there, kind of like a little ramp. It just doesn't seem as comfortable. And the doors also have the bottle holders down there. Those are true bottle holders, not really a door bin so much, although you could stick some stuff in there. And one of the interesting things that I find on some vehicles is that you only have one rear seat pocket instead of one on both. So I guess the passenger is more important than the driver's side over there with that seat. I don't know. But that's the way it is. Most people probably aren't too concerned about that. Fold down armrest with the cup holders built in, and there's a lever on the side of the seat. We'll let Austin show you where that is real quick, and you can use that to lower the seats down and maximize your cargo area, or you can do this. They do recline, so if you're wondering about that, that's a common question about these rear seats. They recline way back. I better be careful because it's comfortable and I might go to sleep, and then Austin's going to have to finish the video without me, but you might hear snoring in the background. Rear air conditioning vents, something that definitely gets a thumbs up in addition to the USB connectivity. So those are big issues, I know, for a lot of people, something that you like to check off on your list. And we have a conventional size sunroof here. It does open. That's what we have for now. I know a lot of you like the panoramic sunroofs. Maybe we'll see that someday in the future. Okay, let's talk about what I consider the main area of attraction for those of you watching this video. I don't know, maybe some of your rear seat passengers are watching too, so they can know what's going on back there. But the main area of attraction, the driver's seat. First of all, let's talk about what's on the passenger side over there. I like the shelf right here. That open area is just so nice. More and more automakers making use of that space instead of having it closed up. That is a good thing. We also have the gloveless glove box. Never any gloves in there, at least that I've found to this point in time. Air conditioning vents here. Obviously, you've got a total of 4 here in the front seat. Good airflow. And I'm going to grab the camera real quick, and we're going to take a look at what's over here on the passenger side door. We're going to have the buttons for locking or unlocking the windows, door locks, power window controls, and everything right there for your power windows, as we talked about earlier. And you can see some of the other features right here, including our traction control button. You can drop the lever right here. That allows you to adjust the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. And here are our steering wheel mounted controls. I like that you have 3 spokes right here. Without the 3rd spoke down here, I don't know, it just doesn't look complete. So that's my opinion, at least. Comfortable steering wheel. And we have our the digital instrument cluster right here. Now, if you're wondering about that flickering effect you're seeing right there, that's just something we deal with a lot with these cameras here on YouTube. I'll try to minimize that as best as I can. But you can see what we have here as far as this model goes. There's a lot going on here. Very nice looking. We have different driving modes we can go through. Drive, my drive. We have sport right there. We also have normal. And I'm doing that with this control right here. Just wanted to kind of show you a little bit of what is here. And then over here on the right-hand side of the steering wheel, the control for your front and rear window wipers. And I'll tell you something that I like that's not there in just a minute. Over here, we're going to have the control for not only that thing that a lot of you drivers don't like to use when you do this or this, but you can also control the functionality of your headlights. And you can even see what's happening on the screen in case you need to know for sure that you're in the right setting, whatever it is you want to do. And what is it over here that I like that isn't here? The shifter. With the control here for your front and rear window wipers, I find myself in some Hyundai models that have the shifter down here instead of right here. I'm always wanting to reach up here first. I don't know why. Maybe that's just my lack of experience with these Hyundais. Now, we're going to go to our infotainment screen, and I like that it's angled just a little bit towards the driver. That definitely makes it a little more driver focused. You can swipe over here, and you can see some of your different features. Now you might say, well, there isn't a lot there. It's not as much as I might expect. Well, it's all right here. So depending on what you need to see, here's where you likely need to go. And just so you don't embarrass yourself in front of your friends and say, let me bring navigation up, if you push that right there, it's not what you think it is. At least that's what I was thinking. So you do have map right here, but you still can take advantage of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and wirelessly pair your smartphone. So that is there. When we go into vehicle, here are all of your different settings. You can see everything that you need, including your digital keys right there. And drive mode. In fact, there's so many different things here that you can do. You can go with your drive mode change alert. If you need to be alerted when your drive mode changes, well, you can do that. And you can also see your driver assistance right here. Some pretty cool graphics going on, by the way. I like that. I think that's a pretty neat thing as far as that goes. And you even have your speed limit recognition, and you can have assist on that. All that good stuff. I'm going to turn that off just because it might be dinging at us during the test drive, because I tend to drive way under the speed limit all the time. Ha ha ha. Who's going to believe that? And then here we go with something that we're going to try and get into an indoor area where I can show you what the ambient lighting looks like. But the cool thing here is that there is ambient lighting in the vehicle. Maybe not Mercedes-Benz like, but it's here. But here's something that I find interesting. You might say, how do you change the colors? Well, you just touch the word color right there. To me, it seems like it should be a little more obvious, because it almost looks like that's telling you what's underneath that right here. I don't know, but that's how you do it. You change your colors right there, and there actually are a lot more colors than you think there are. There's 64 different colors here. Now that is like Mercedes-Benz with the MBUX system, so you're just paying a lot less money for it. That's a good thing. Yay for Hyundai, right? And we'll go into reverse and take a look at our backup camera. Pretty clear. Having the sun back there shining right into the lens probably doesn't help much, but it is clear based on what I'm seeing. And you have the nice bright trajectory lines. That's always a nice thing. And we'll work our way down here. You can see we have the knob for controlling the volume and turning your radio on and off. And then we have another knob over there for controlling your stations. And you can see all of your one touch down here. So that makes things pretty simplistic as far as that goes. There's your hazard lights button if you happen to need that. And we also have a map up here. I don't know how well you can see that, but there is your map. So there actually is built-in navigation in case you are wondering about that. And we'll get back down here to our dual zone climate control. You have a combination of physical controls and then kind of a little bit more of a touch screen of sorts right there. So I like the physical controls. I'd like to have as many of those as possible. Just makes it easier. I don't have to look down at it when I'm driving down the road. I don't know, some of you might be talented enough to remember where that is on the screen right there, if we call that a screen. You do have your heated seats for the driver and the passenger, 3 stages. And right down here, we have some connectivity. We also have a wireless charging pad right there. And you saw the shifter earlier. I showed that to you. The drive mode selector, we've got some other one-touch features here. We have our power parking brake right there. If we want to take advantage of that, we can do that. And if you need to turn auto hold on or off, you can do that right there. That just means the brakes are locked. Even when you go from drive, or you drive to park to drive, let's get that right. Park to drive, it still stays activated until you touch the gas pedal. Some people might like that. I don't know. Tell me what you think. A little bit of gloss black here, but I don't think that's in a bad area because not likely to get a ridiculous amount of fingerprints. We'll try not to add any to that. And right here, we're going to have the center console with a reasonable amount of space down in there, quite a bit actually. For this size of vehicle, I think that works. You can put a lot of your stuff in there. And how about the upper console? Here is the control that you use to open and close your power sunroof. And then you can see some of the other things in here. Not a whole lot going on where that's concerned, but one thing that we definitely want to find out about is 178 horsepower, 187 horsepower enough? And we're in that darker atmosphere I told you about earlier. We're going to get inside shortly, but I couldn't help but show you how these LED taillights look, and your light that runs all the way across. Something that sets the Tucson apart from a lot of other vehicles out there on the road. Often that isn't the case. You might have a portion that's lit, but it doesn't go all the way across like it does. I really like that. I think it looks nice. What do you think? And while we don't have as much ambient lighting here as I would like to, you do have some on the shelf right there above the glove box. There's also some lighting down there in the door bins. And the thing that I like here is that we can go and choose from so many different colors. I'm going to change this to a few different colors and let you see how it looks. There you go. We're not going to do all 64, I promise, but I do want to show you one thing. I don't know if you're able to see this on the screen or not, but when you change colors right here, you have to hit OK right there. I don't know if that's really necessary, but that's the way it works. All right, here we go on the test drive. Drive over the railroad tracks. Little noisy, but not too bad on the ride quality. That's the main thing as far as that goes. So we're going to get on down the road here, and I'm going to get on it just a little bit here. Not too much. Don't want this Ram to think we're trying to race him, but just want to kind of see what the acceleration is here, which is not too bad. For 187 horsepower, it gets down the road just fine. And a comfortable ride quality. I like that. The seats are comfortable. I need to adjust it a little bit more, but I think if I adjusted the seat just right, I think I could be happy for quite a long time driving down the road. Very comfortable. One thing I didn't mention earlier in the video, speaking of adjustability with the seats, is the fact that the driver's seat is power adjustable, passenger seat is manually adjustable, and something that I really wish we could see in more vehicles. Hopefully we will in the near future. More automakers watching my videos and learning about what they need to change. Make those manually adjustable passenger seats able to move up and down so you can adjust the height. I've even seen some with power adjustable passenger seats where you can't adjust the height. So that's something that is very useful to your passengers. So just a little hint, we're dropping to Hyundai. Nice tight turning radius. A very enjoyable vehicle to drive. So if you're looking for an SUV of this size, you definitely have some good options here. Plenty of space here in the front seats, a reasonable amount in the back. I didn't feel cramped back there when I sat back there earlier. And you have a reasonable amount of cargo capacity in addition to what we have with all of the other space right here. And if anybody wonders why I didn't move over, well, there's somebody in my blind spot right there, so we didn't want to cut them off. But overall, a very enjoyable vehicle to drive. Easy to get to the controls and the switches and everything. Pretty easy to deal with. I like the simplicity here, but I like the fact that you also have some really nice technology, the 12.3-inch instrument cluster and the 12.3-inch touchscreen. Tell me what you wish was here. What would you like to see Hyundai change in the future when there's a full redesign? I'm curious to know. Okay, tell me what you think about the 2025 Hyundai Tucson SEL. Is it worth $34,665? Tell me what your thoughts are down in the comments section. I do want to say a special thanks to our friends at Mike Morgan Hyundai for loaning us this Tucson for the day so we could tell you all about it. And of course, a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to share this video on your timelines so other people can see it. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. If you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and we'll see you there.